Today we're going to be working on making a cube, which you'll have the instructions for on the Canvas system. So it'll be a simple shape, a cube, A, B, C located in the middle, or ideally as you start making your keychain, it'll have your initials on it. So make sure you set your working directory and go File, New, Part. We'll call this cube. Go OK. Make sure the file name's not in use, so I'll go cube 2 because I've done this earlier. Insert, extrude, placement, define, front will be fine, sketch. We're going to be drawing our cube to start with, so we can drag it to any old size, but if you notice the two L's appear as we start getting roughly the same, that will keep the proportions the same. Click. Go on our mouse, zoom a little bit so we can see. Remembering our width from our diagram said it was 100. Press 100 and then tick. If I drag that 3D, you'll see it's quite looking like a cube. But obviously our width and height is 100. We need to make our depth 100 to make it a true cube. So enter in 100, and that will now change it so our cube is proportional. The next step that we need to do will be to extrude another shape. So we'll go Insert, Extrude, Placement, Define, Front we'll do, or top in this case, go Sketch, and we're going to just put a letter. So we click in this corner here, to the top, click, and we'll just put in a symbol, A. Go OK. That's put our symbol in. Now of course it's not quite got the right widths and sizes. If we look at our original document, our A from the bottom is 17 from the bottom, so we want to change that to 17. Moves it up. Now you notice it's not quite fitting because our height is 66. That should start fitting, and our width from the left, it's not actually given in this particular diagram. So you'll have to approximate it and get it as close to the middle as you possibly can. 30 too much. And we have our A drawn. Now if you look at that, we've also got a rectangle located around the outside. Actually it's not a rectangle, it's a square I should say. So we're going to click about here, create another square, roughly there around the object. Click, let go. We did get some rough dimensions located in here. We can see the distance is 7, so 7 from the top. So we can assume that's going to be 7 all the way around. So we click on our mouse, change that to 7, change it to 7. Now of course we've got some other measurements that are quite right. So we know if our width in one corner is 7 and our width is 100. So it's going to be 100 take away 7 take away 7, which will give us the height of our shape, which should be sitting at 83. Sorry, that's not correct. 86. And we now start to see our shape starting to fit in with the right sort of pattern. However, you notice that we don't have the ability to change the width from left to right. So clicking on this tool here, we're going to click here, and press the middle scroll button, which will then create a new width, making sure that's the same at 86. We now have our shape fitting in the right area. From here we can tick up to the top left here. You notice it's all yellow. We're going to select this tool here, which will remove material. You can go inside and outside. In this particular case we're going to remove depth. So when we drag it to the side, you can actually see it's actually sunk in. Now obviously that's gone a little bit too far. We wouldn't want to have it going that far. We're probably going to have it going about 10. So our depth is quite narrow. So at the moment we've now created our thing. If we put our tick, we can start to see we've got our, if I rotate it on the side, I can remove these lines. So it looks a little bit easier to see. And of course you can now start to colour. So using this pattern tool here, colour on the inside if you want to do that. And we've now got our colour pattern that we've started to form. As you'll see, that's located very similar. What you do here is you're going to create 2 more extrudes. You're going to do 1 for each surface, 1 on each side. So when you do actually make a keychain, this will actually come through